Howdy everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic review. Today we are going to be reviewing the new Plato album, Republic. This is the first solo project from Plato, an American indie rock musician from Seattle who used to be a member of the Algos before splitting off due to what he called creative differences. I say solo, but everyone who paid attention to the Algos knows that Plato was never the instrumentalist, and he has this big backing band here supporting him, but just doesn't give them credit. That band on this album plays these kind of overplayed surf rock hits over which Plato is just chaotically freestyling for an hour. On the Code, Plato combines the worst aspects of momcore and crash rock, creating an indecipherable layer of gibberish that I hesitate to even call lyrics. That said, I don't want to just sound like I'm criticizing the man's lyrical delivery, because I'm also criticizing the content of his lyrics as well. It is rare to find an artist with this level of ignorance and arrogance. On Gabbo, shorthand for Game Ain't Based on Sympathy, Plato puts himself at the center of every social interaction he's ever had. It's probably one of the most egotistical tracks on the album, and one of the most narcissistic songs I've heard in my life. The trumpets crescendo to announce his arrival as though he's some god finally gracing us with his musical talent now that he's been untethered from the rest of the Algos. In fact, Algos drummer Big Chiff actually went on a Twitter rant against Plato that's pretty fucking funny, and I highly recommend you guys go check it out after you finish this video. Plato's arrogance is also really strong on Guided by Spirits and Sundial Syndrome, as well as the other songs on the album. On those two in particular, he accuses his fan base of not understanding him, and the mainstream media and the public of just not getting his message. These attacks against his own fan base, though, still haven't prevented them from being one of the most annoying forces on the internet in the past week as they prepare for this album to drop. Still, even though the album is a pretty ugly listen through and through, nothing comes close to Title IX, which has this droning bass line that goes on for way too long before leading into a 7-minute rant over a distorted guitar with probably 50 different drum tracks over it. That said, Come Out of the Cave probably takes the cake for the most stupid and offensive song on the album, but for how absurd and laughably dumb Plato is on all of these tracks, you wouldn't expect them to be so mind-numbingly boring. Amidst all the chaos and idiocy of this album, he still manages to make it unlistenable, not just because it's bad, but because it's bland. Creed and Geometry are probably the instrumental highlights of the album, but I suspect that this isn't Plato's work, but the work of the instrumentalists and producers who he paid exorbitant amounts of money to work with him. I feel pretty bad for these artists who barely had any time to have fun producing their music without Plato coming into the room every 2 minutes to go on another incoherent rant about some new issue he's decided to take. There's a lot I could say about a musician who has an ego as big and inflated as Plato's, but a lot has already been said about Plato specifically, and even more has been said about ego and artistry. Long story short, this album sucks. I'm gonna give it a 1. If I wanted to be nice, I would give it a 2. But I don't. What do you guys think? I assume I'm going to be getting a lot of comments down below from Plato fans, maybe some slurs down in the comments, knowing the artist and his fan base, but that's to be expected when you're dealing with an artist like this. For all you regular people out there, please come down in the comments. Let's have a party, talk about how much we hate this album, and I will see you guys next time.